We are from Group 6. My name is LINA FONG.
Hi, I am Koay.
My name is Koay.
Hi, my name is LINA.
I am YING.
Our group is hired and assigned to implement a supply chain risk management solution for Honda company. Honda is the second largest Japanese manufacturer of automobile, motorcycle, and power equipment. They has a dedicated R&D team to bring the originality and innovation products and equipment. The main mission of Honda is decarbonization. Honda began the initiative to realize carbon neutrality by 2050. Honda also has a desire to improve the environment, particularly in busy urban areas. Therefore, they introduced a compact and fully electric Honda. In addition, Honda strives to realize a zero environmental footprint through the initiative in manufacturing areas, such as the utilization of renewable energy and recycling of resources. Therefore, we are assigned to identify and analyzing the potential issue to implement a supply chain risk management. Next, I will pass to the next presenter to present the details of the risks which may be faced by the Honda company.
The four supply chain risks that needed to be assessed by Honda are strategic risks, financial risks, hazard risks, and operational risks. Honda should assess information security risks and intellectual property risks. Honda makes extensive use of information systems and networks related to information services and driving support in their business operation and products. In particular, the Internet of Things and other information technologies have developed rapidly in recent years and have become essential in vehicle control. In this context, cyber attacks could significantly affect Honda's medium to long-term plans for wider use and development of driver assistance technology and further mobility offering. Besides, Honda holds or otherwise possesses rights to a certain number of patents and trademarks associated with the products it produces. The failure to protect such intellectual property rights in general, the unlawful infringement of some or the most of the Honda's intellectual property rights could negatively impact the company's business and results of operation. It is important for Honda to assess the economic and currency fluctuation risk. Under financial risk, Honda conducts business activities and has production operations in various countries around the world. Therefore, the business activities are usually or may be easily affected by economic downturn or currency fluctuations, which may lead to lower sales volume due to a shrinking market, higher purchase prices for components parts, and higher sales prices for products. Moreover, as Honda exports their company products and component parts to many countries around the world, they have to procure raw materials and components parts and sell them using foreign currencies. Thus, currency fluctuations would definitely bring impact on the pricing of materials procured and products sold by Honda. In addition, Honda had also exposed itself to other risks as a result of hedging currency and interest rate. While it is not impossible to hedge all currency and interest rate exposures, Honda had implemented financial derivative instruments to minimize the substantive impacts of currency fluctuations and interest rate risks on its cash flows and financial positions. Hence, the risks that associated with the utilization of this instrument are unavoidable. Honda should also assess the risks that would caused by war, terrorism, multinational conflicts, natural disaster, pandemic, and other, which under hazard risks. As mentioned before, Honda runs their business worldwide. They should assess the risk subject to events that beyond their control and might lead to postponement and disruption in its local operation in the affected countries and regions. This is because postponement and disruption in either one region would generally affect Honda's whole operation around the world. The suspension and postponement in Honda business activities due to natural disasters such as earthquakes, floods, and pandemics are mostly hard to predict and prevent. For instance, the risk related to the pandemic of COVID-19 had negatively impact on Honda sales and production. The emergency lockdown decline in certain countries had led to the temporary shutdown of manufacturing plants and results in shortage of components, parts, and labor. Thus, these unforeseen and unforecastable future trends could adversely affect Honda's business activities and operating performance.
I will feature about the operational risk of Honda. In addition, Honda should assess the supply chain risk in the operational risk because the risk include internal and external quality issues, delayed delivery risk, service failures, and unfavorable forecast which will cause the failures in the operational performance. We can see that Honda always sources raw material from various external suppliers and is dependent on certain of key suppliers for acquiring material in an efficient and cost-effective manner. However, this method will affect the production of Honda and increase the operation caused by the reason of the loss of the key supplier. Furthermore, business deal agreement between the parties to an area or joint venture, loss of profit due to technology leakage, slippage in decision making or unsatisfactory operating performance of business partner, or a change in or cancellation by the partner could badly affect Honda business. Lastly, conflict material could also impact the brand image and even be banned by the certain customer. What is conflict material? Conflict material refers to the mineral originating in the Democratic Republic of the Congo or its neighboring countries that are believed to contribute to the financing of armed groups in the region or to human rights abuse.
First of all, Honda company may face some strategy risks, which are about the information security risk and intellectual property risk. Honda has did some protection for them. Honda has obtained 61 invention patents and 12 design patents, which are mostly is motorcycle design. For protecting the security risk and intellectual property risk, Honda developed the global confidentiality policy and also formed a global confidentiality committee. Honda used the GCP to protect the personal information for their customer, employee, as well as the advanced private information of company. There are also some financial risks that faces by Honda company, which are economy and currency rate fluctuations. Hence, the Honda has implemented the exchange rate risk management policy to minimizing the consequences of fluctuating interest rate and currency exchange. Next, the local operations were streamlined to keep the small-scale production profitable. Honda also managed the financial risk with professional financial companies such as IBM. This is because the currency rate is rising and declining during the period of sales order and purchasing. At the same time, the sales profit may be affected if there is the different currency than the amount shown in sales receipts. Hence, financial company can help the Honda minimizing the losses from currency fluctuations. Thirdly, Honda set up the Global Emergency Headquarters to deal with the hazard risks such as earthquake and floods. The Honda Global Emergency Headquarters hopes to strengthen its functions by building on previous initiatives related to the crisis and another incidents. Furthermore, Honda also conducts a regular emergency headquarters exercise to test its risk response capability, and also it reiterated how to respond to the crisis on multiple levels. Honda also helped the customer who face the difficulty or risk, such as flood that happened in year 2007. The Honda offered the 25% discount on auto part repairs to the customer who faced the flood hits in southern Malaysia. Even during the pandemic of COVID-19, Honda also tried to give the after-sales service for their customer. However, Honda only systematically conduct the after-sales service to their customer through the booking from the Honda Touch apps. Not only that, but Honda also made it easier and simpler for the customer to book their favorite Honda vehicle through the official Honda Malaysia website and Honda Touch app. Henceforth, these actions reduce the long wait time and reducing the spread of COVID-19.
The risk response of Honda for operational risk. Since the fall of 2020, the global supply shortage of semiconductor components has become apparent. Honda lowered its profit outlook for the second time due to chip shortage. It has reduced its global sales target for fiscal 2021 by 2.2% or 10,000 vehicles. Besides, Honda reduced their production and changing model by announcing temporary cut production in US and Canada. Honda also extended the timing and rate of production due to the lack of chips. Therefore, Honda has said that car manufacturing in Japan will be 70% lower than expected. Nevertheless, Honda had built a close relationship with their supplier to ensure the sustainable supply of raw material. Honda is aiming to improve the supply chain's long-term stability, particularly in the area of procurement and logistics. In the field of procurement, Honda chose suppliers in a fair way that recognize their independence and treat them as equal. Meanwhile, in the area of logistics, Honda firms are collaborating across the supply chain to create shared risks for their suppliers to use in assessing their own activity and to encourage lower-tier suppliers to participate in sustainability activity.
Okay, through that assignment, we have learned some lessons. From the Honda company itself, we learned that having effectively strong governance structure in risk management is important. For example, Honda established the Global Risk Management Policy, Risk Management Officer, Risk Management Secretariat, and so on. This structure and policy has definitely helped Honda to target and realizing all possible risks that may impact company's operations and enable Honda to have a more stable and strategic management which thus grow in a more sustainable way. Besides from the learning of Honda company, we also learned and saw something relating to the perspective of supply chain risk. We learned that supply chain risk can be driven by internal and external forces. For instance, the globalization and approaches like the lean manufacturing and the list goes on, which we usually see as an appropriate ways to deal with risk. However, these popular ways and trends which helps a company and a market to yield advantages, but it also exposes a company to a new kinds of risk, and this can be best illustrates that although the globalization enables the access of low-cost productions for some companies or manufacturing factories, but it increased the complexity and the possibilities of disruptions in the supply chain, maybe due to some external factors like natural disaster, regional economic issues, and so on. Therefore, in order to deal with and have a more faster response of reactions to the supply chain risk, one should have a larger holistic side of view on the supply chain risk. They can considering the risk from the part of macro environment, extended value chain, operational and functional risk. In conclusion, we learned that it is difficult to prepare and predict for every potential risk, especially in today's emerging role of supply chain. A company like Honda is actually already doing well, and what they can do only the best is by proactively building resilience to possible risks, increase the visibility in the risk pattern tracking, collaboration within the partners in the supply chain, and more flexible in adapting the problems, especially within the operational cost and critical expectation shift. And that's all from us. Thank you.